don't know. Pretty disappointed with this factory so far.
Really?
I've come to Vietnam to answer one question. Can Vietnam really replace China as the world's manufacturing hub? Over the past year, many of my clients have asked me about moving their production out of China, and Vietnam keeps coming up. But nobody knows if it's actually ready. There was only one thing I could do to find the answer. I had to go myself. I came up with a 3-step plan to see if Vietnam truly had the potential to overtake China. Go to a trade show in Vietnam to ask manufacturers, the people behind it all, why they think Vietnam is better than China. Visit factories to see the behind-the-scenes processes of their manufacturing, craftsmanship, and speed. Explore Vietnam's culture, because manufacturing isn't just processes, it's the people, the work ethic, and the energy. So after arriving in Vietnam, we made our way to the Global Sources Trade Show. A trade show is an event where businesses meet manufacturers and suppliers to develop, improve, and produce their products. And this is where we came across a unique supplier. They specialize in the production of leather bags using alligator and python skins.
Wow, and so where's the crocodile from? Where do you guys get the leather?
Just from Bangladesh.
So what would the cost be to manufacture a crocodile bag like this?
Depend on the quantity you want.
Okay, so what would be the MOQ?
The minimum is 1,000.
At 1,000 pieces, what would be the price point?
$250.
That's a real crocodile?
Yes.
That's awesome. Out of this whole crocodile, how many bags can you make?
Can make one bag.
Wow.
After chatting for some time, they actually invited us to their factory. This was a golden opportunity for us to see Vietnamese manufacturing up close. Any factory can look good from a booth at a show, but once you're inside, the truth shows pretty quickly. When I'm visiting a manufacturer, there are 3 things I'm always looking for. Professionalism, how they operate, how organized they are, how seriously they take what they do. Specialization. Are they actually experts in this product or just another factory trying to do everything with no specialization? Quality. Not just the samples on the tables, but what's actually happening on the production floor. Being here lets me assess all 3 almost instantly. But the second I arrived, there was one major red flag. These were not leather bags.
Pretty disappointed with this factory so far.
Really? Common reasons, just like quite small, like
It's small. I mean, they're like, I'm just kind of annoyed because we had an appointment at 3 and they're not ready for us at 3. I mean, like, it's nice, like the leather is nice. But I'm also seeing that right now they're going and they're producing a lot of non-leather bags. More like polyester and nylon and that kind of stuff, which is fine. Like, the factory makes bags, but I was really hoping for more specialization. Typically, you know, a leather bag factory might only do leather bags, but I'm not seeing any leather bags actually on the line. It'd be nice to have seen that. But at least from a raw material standpoint, I'm seeing majority leather. And this is the importance of actually going to the factories, because you can talk to them. They could talk about their large production capacity, they could talk about their specialization, but until you actually go to the factory and see the lines and see the products that are coming out of it, it's really hard to know if you can trust them for those programs. For example, this factory might be great for some small run, mid-quality stuff, and we might still use them for, you know, for cost-effective, mid-sized production, but for specifically the large production that we were looking for our larger customers, this is not it, unfortunately.
So after waiting about half an hour after our scheduled time, we finally had someone give us a tour. And it was time to see what this factory was actually capable
First step
of.
is over there. We use come. We use it to cutting leather for the belt or for the purses. We have the machine there to making belts.
So, for example, to utilize all the leather, they're gonna go and take the different scraps and take different parts of it and be able to turn it into belts. So this area right here, they're going through the process of being able to cut the leather and treat it into something usable for a belt. As you can see here, what's this machine?
We use this machine to make in shape.
So what is this? Is this for a wallet?
Yeah, this is for the wallet.
For the wallet.
Yeah.
Is this the alligator?
Crocodile leather.
Crocodile leather? Where do you get the crocodile leather from?
We have one factory that provides crocodile for us.
Yeah, you use the whole crocodile?
We take the whole crocodile.
Yeah.
And here's the laser.
The laser
machine for the special design.
Yeah.
Some like this.
So my first impressions for this factory were not that strong. But after getting the tour and spending a little time being shown around, I could see that there actually was some craftsmanship and skill to the production lines.
with bags, it's a lot of hand work. You have to go and make each component of the bag and then put it together. So across the different lines, they have the different specializations.
And of course, I thought this factory was quite small, but it turns out they had a much larger facility 2 hours away. And as the tour was nearing an end, they showed me what I definitely think is the most unique part about this
Got
factory.
it.
And this is like the crocodile.
Oh, this is very cool.
Like the real one.
Yeah, can I see?
We have a different color here.
Oh wow, look, come here, come here.
Yeah.
Đây là lấy ngay cái chỗ này này.
Yeah.
Ah,
From this part.
okay.
We have cut it and
Yeah.
make it belt from this part.
This is the belt that's
Yeah,
through
this
here.
is the belt. This is the belt.
And then this part is for bag?
With the bag or the wallet.
Okay. I got this wallet from you guys. And so this is the part of the crocodile it ended up coming from. It's coming through this part. Just like that. This is python. Where's the python from? From Vietnam?
We have it from another country.
Another country? What would the cost be for a bag like this to make? with
For
you?
how many pieces?
What's your MOQ?
For 100 pieces.
100 pieces? So for 100 pieces, what would be the price point on something like
Cái
this?
này trong 100 cái là bao nhiêu tiền? Bao nhiêu tiền một tấm? The price 95 is for the bag.
Yeah.
And the wallet, he will calculate it
Okay.
now. It's 36 for
36.7 US dollars? Okay.
Another interesting fact here, when I was in the factory, they actually offered me a better MOQ than when I met them at the show. A great example of when you take the time to connect with a factory and build a relationship, it can benefit your business relationship so much.
So, after a closer look, this factory actually wasn't all that bad, and I definitely could call it a positive experience. But we were here for a purpose in Vietnam, and it wasn't just to visit factories. It was also to find out what Vietnam could offer. So now, I'm going to take you back to the show where we're going to continue the interviews with the factories.
You guys manufacture all these different products? Water sport products?
Yeah,
And then so what would be like the price point for like something like this? What would be the price?
FOB price depends on quantity.
Okay.
Depends on
What's your MOQ?
MOQ around 300, 500 is okay.
Okay. So what would be the price at like 300?
Around 80 US.
80 US?
Yeah. Including the pedal, pump,
Okay.
yeah, and thing.
And how many fit in one container? Do you know?
Around 800
800.
40 feet container. 40
Okay,
feet.
cool.
Yeah.
These are really, really cool. I'm actually really impressed. So a lot of times people go to China for manufacturing candles, but because of the lower labor costs in Vietnam, it can be pretty cost effective to manufacture here. What would be the MOQ to make this?
The MOQ is around 1,000.
1,000?
1,000 pieces for one item.
And the price?
That is $3.65.
How do you make a candle like this?
This is a shaped candle. So we also have a shaped mold. So you can create any mold, any shape you want.
Yeah.
Like a dog, or you see flowers, or a lady's like.
So the suppliers were absolutely amazing,
how
but there
much
was
would something like
one
this
other
cost to
reason
make?
that we came to the show,
Why
and
should
that was to
people
find out
manufacture-
what does Vietnam have to offer that China doesn't.
Okay. Why should people manufacture with you guys versus going to China?
I would say we have big confidence in our quality, and also we are reliable. So during developing our production time, if anything happens, then we will get into it and then we solve it until the customer happy. So to be honest, if talking about the price, my price sometimes higher than China. That's what customers don't like. But they come to us because they are happy with us, and we help them a lot with like design, production, and all the details. We help them a lot.
What's the benefit of making them in Vietnam versus China?
Why?
Yeah.
You mean why?
Why?
Because the US custom tax.
Yeah, high
Yeah.
taxes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
There's also an important benefit when it comes to manufacturing in Vietnam, something known as the golden population structure.
And some of the reasons why Vietnam is becoming this hub for manufacturing is because of their golden population structure. So what that looks like is you have at least 2 working people for every 1 dependent. So a lot of countries don't have that structure anymore because they have not as many people being born, and the older class are more dependent. So when you have a lot larger of a working force, it helps with the overall manufacturing labor pool. Another reason that
Vietnam is becoming really big is because, of the major cities as well. So Ho Chi Minh is the second fastest growing city in all of Asia. There's a lot of business going around here, a lot of development. When you put all these together, it's what formulates, an amazing country for manufacturing, and it's why Vietnam has been exploding in the last few years. So we just finished Global Sources Day 1 in Vietnam, Ho Chi Minh City. Vietnam is a fantastic place to manufacture products, especially if you're trying to do some higher volume work, right? Those cost savings that you're gonna see from the lack of tariffs compared to China, as well as the labor costs being less than half, right, really come into effect when you have a good amount of volume. So China's still a great player, there's no question, but for some of our larger customers, making these strategic moves within Vietnam is key. To give you an example, a factory worker in Vietnam makes about $300 a month versus China, it's between like $700 to $1,000. With the rising labor costs in China, so many more factories are trying to move their business over here. But you do have some hesitations, you do have some issues, right? Because your raw materials, for the most part, they're still gonna be coming from China. So you might have to still get the fabrics to make the t-shirts from there. And it's all the actually production of the piece and the assembly that's happening here. When people talk about Vietnam, they usually throw out average wages and labor costs, but that doesn't tell the full story. Manufacturing here can look very different depending on the factory. That's why it was super important to me to vet another factory while I was here. We're heading into a second shoe factory to compare quality, working conditions, and production standards. So we're not judging Vietnam off a single operation, but the reality on the ground.
So we're going into one of the factories of a major footwear manufacturing group in Vietnam. These guys manufacture for Nike, Adidas, North Face. They produce about 5 million pairs of shoes per year. Which is pretty large. So to explain what's going on right now, they produce the upper and then the bottom of the shoe, and they have to glue it together. This is typically the higher end manufacturing process. When you look at the really cheap shoes that are made, they use an automatic machine that goes and puts them together. But again, so you can see within the process how much physical labor is going into the manufacturing process. So that's why in China, where the labor cost is higher, you're producing a lot more of the shoes with the automatic processes, automatic machines. Versus here, for more of the premium shoes that have the bottoms glued on, they're gonna go and do that by hand. This factory really impressed me. The mix of machines and hand-finished work shows just how high the manufacturing standard is here. Seeing this firsthand, it's easy to understand why so many brands are shifting production from China to Vietnam. But this trip isn't just about factories and trade shows, it's also about experiencing Vietnam.
This one.
Shumai?
Yeah, like meatball.
This is by far one of my favorite foods within Vietnam. It's like a deconstructed banh mi. This is a beef stew. And you see there's pate here, a baguette, very French foods. And the reason why is that Vietnam was actually a French colony. And they went and they brought a lot of very famous French items with them. And a lot of the French culture got ingrained. And if you go, you look through the city, you're gonna see a lot of French architecture as well. And ultimately, did numbers for the food.
Food review coming up. One of the most amazing dishes I've ever tasted. Like, this is insane. Isaac was saying it to me, this is his favorite place, whatever. I was like, okay, cool. Like, we've eaten a lot of food here. Like, it's all been very good. This was amazing. This was amazing. You've so many fancy places here, but the best foods literally come from these places, to be honest.
How much is this?
$1, literally $1. Like,
The next day, we made our way to the famous Vietnamese markets where you can find knockoffs of nearly every major brand. These markets are full of designer fakes, from shoes to watches and accessories. It's fascinating to see how they can recreate these products. I mean, sometimes you think they're the real deal.
Made in France?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
France, Vietnam?
Good quality.
Yeah.
Quality.
This is, it's what, 600 US?
No, not expensive like that.
Not 600 US? 500
No.
US? How much?
You want 500 US, I sell for you 500 US.
Maybe. That's a good deal.
Because you have
Yeah,
plenty
big
money.
big discount.
Okay, good price for you.
Real good price. The reason why, there's so much of these fake leather goods and wallets and all that is because Vietnam is a hub for leather manufacturing. It's very cost effective. It's a lot of handwork that goes into this kind of stuff. So as you're gonna have the real stuff, you're gonna have the fake stuff as well. And coming to these markets is a great place to get it.
Vietnam surprised me. Not because it's ready to replace China. It's not. Not yet, the scale just isn't there, and anyone saying otherwise hasn't spent real time on the ground. But the direction is very clear. You can feel the momentum in the factories, in the workforce, in the way skilled labor is growing fast, wages are still competitive, and more component and raw material suppliers are setting up locally instead of relying on imports. That matters. Add in tariffs that are meaningfully lower than China, and Vietnam stops being a backup option and starts becoming a real strategic move. That's why we're already shifting production here for a lot of clients. Not as a replacement, but as part of a smarter, more diversified supply chain. And that small trade show I walked through, give it 10 years, it won't be small anymore. It'll be one of the rooms that really matter. Vietnam isn't the king of manufacturing, but it's building its throne. Quietly, patiently, and faster than most people realize. Thank you for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.